Okay. Okay. Without further ado, let's bring on the one and only Dr. Shaharzad Ali. Everybody, y'all, give her a hand. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Shaharzad Ali. How are you, sister?
I'm doing fine, praise be to Allah. And let
Oh,
me tell you what I'm drinking. I feel kind of ghetto. Mine is in a styrofoam cup, but
it's
I'm
okay.
having a bitter melon and cinnamon and Jim Nima.
Oh, wow. That sounds very healthy. Did you brew it yourself?
Yes, I did. I fight this diabetes, and so I have to have different kind that helps bring my blood sugar down.
Oh, beautiful. And you know what? I already told you this before the show, but you are ageless, timeless, gorgeous, all the is. You look so beautiful.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you
And it
very
is
much.
just an honor to have you with us. I mean, we don't deserve your presence, but we are very thankful to
Oh,
have
that's
you.
that's not true. We all have equality here, especially
Oh,
when it comes to our men.
oh, I love you. See, I told y'all that we got this is going to be the one. This is the sister sit down. So, I just want to ask you. Everyone knows if you haven't been living under a rock, you know who Dr. Shaharazad Ali is. The Black Man's Guide to the Black Woman is one of her is the how can I say it?
Well,
One of the
the
states.
book is actually, wait a minute, the book is actually The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman.
Oh, right, my bad. And I have the book. So I always say to the Black woman, but understanding, yes, excuse me, pardon me. So if now we know that book was very not only controversial, but it made so many changes in the relationship of Black men and women. Even though a lot of pushback was from that book, a lot of sisters owe you, they're indebted to you for saving their marriages. Am I
That's
right
right.
about that, Doctor?
Absolutely. I have letters from women who say they used to hate me, but after listening and studying and finally reading the book 20 and 25 years later, they say, thank you. They said, I not only read it myself, I bought one for my daughter and I gave one to my sister, and they do, all of that. So I have had redemption in that way, and I have been justified that I was not lying, I was not exaggerating, and I was not trying to break us up. I was trying to put us together.
Right. You were, and you were trying to help your sisters, be because you're a Black woman yourself. And
Absolutely. And
so,
I have black biological sisters, I have black daughters, black granddaughters. And so, I would not come out and try to introduce an idea that would be harmful to any of us, including myself. And so we have lived under the shadow of so much falsehood that the enemy has fed us about relationships or how to get along or misinformation about our black men that we really don't know how to get along. And we have chosen, many of us, to live in falsehood because it seems like it's easier, but it's not easier. And it destroys us and it destroys any potential we have with a man.
wow, thank you. I want to ask you about that, Dr. Ali. Why is it so hard? Because a lot of the pushback was that the Black woman was like, why is she giving our secrets away and breaking us down and showing the Black man about, how we are, giving him our kryptonite. So why is it so hard for our sisters to go out of their way to please their man?
Well, I think whenever I hear a sister say that she don't like men, including our gay sisters, when they say, I can't stand men, I don't want no man, I'm tired of them, I'm moving on, and a lot of things, then they really haven't had a man because there's nothing more satisfying than being able to please your man in the home, especially in regard to fixing his food, fixing his dessert, helping him dress, and just little small things that we can make him feel wanted. We have a man who everybody hates. We
Mm.
hate him. His mama hate him. His family hate him. The white police hate him. The regular white men and white women hate him. This is a man who is hated by everyone. The only
Mm.
solace that God made for him was us. And when he comes to us and can't get any sanctuary at all, then he don't have no life. And then they win, because what they want to do is to destroy him and make us think that we are better than him, so that we will help the enemy destroy our own man that God gave to us. We have the best man on earth. Everybody want him. He looked better than everybody. He's stronger than everybody. He is the best, the wisest, and the most beautiful. Now, of course, many of our men have been tricked by the enemy too. But since we are the mothers, we are the first face they see. We are the first person they talk to. We the first person to feed them. We do all of that and raise them up. And so if there's a silly man out here, he didn't grow up and be silly. He was silly as a little boy because his mother mismanaged him and didn't reparent him using the truth.
Wow. Continue to teach. Whoa. Because
Well,
it's
powerful.
This is what we're dealing with. And the fact that they have taught us to be so insecure, and they have forced their relationship values on us. We don't have anything to do with how the white woman get along with her white man. We got a totally different circumstance. But every time they have an issue or make any issue in the relationship a priority, we jump right on it. We run around that talking about our man gotta have good credit. Give me a break. You know, it's just all nonsense. And they use those things to keep us apart, not to put us together.
And we fall for it. We fall for it as sisters, and hook, line, and sinker. And then we wonder why we're alone and miserable. So I want to ask you a question. I would like to ask you a question, just getting right into it, because in your book, you tell sisters, look, you're not equal to your husband. And you go into it very, very well. And you explain that submission really is a key to the happiness, a woman being satisfied. Because I heard what you just said right now. You said a woman is happy to please her man. She should be, at least. Right. So talk to us about the whole battle of the sexes and women fighting for that power and that control in relationships. What can sisters do to try to really enjoy being submissive? What can they do, doctor?
Well, submissive just really means agreement. I say that all the time. Okay? It just means that if he gives a direction or comes up with an idea, then we need to think it over and try to get with it, if it makes any sense. And as far as us thinking we're better than him, it ain't nobody better than the black man on the earth. He is the first man that God designed, and everybody else came after him, every nationality, even us. And so we have the man who is supreme over all of the other men on the earth. Now, what we're dealing with is a man who has been wounded and repressed and taught that he does not have any value. And their solution to keeping him in that condition is to convince us to tell him he ain't got no value. And many of us do that. Many of us do that because we're disappointed. You know, I've been talking with the brothers about trying to get in touch with or make peace with their fathers. Because many of our people who didn't have a father, we have that father hunger. And almost everything we know about our father was told to us by our mother, who was mad at him about their relationship. Wow. It has nothing to do with us being their child and them being our father. Fatherhood is not based on whether or not he can pay child support or not. We don't care as children. You can't find a child that care whether the father giving them anything. They want their daddy. Yes. And we have deprived them of that based on some rules that white people set up. And we will tell people he don't do nothing for him, so I don't let him see him. And that is the worst thing. That's not hurting the man as much as it's hurting our own child.
Preach.
Oh, right. Thank you, doctor. We got to give them.
We have to work on those kind of things. You know, even if we don't like the father, and most of us don't after a while, especially if you didn't stay with him or get married, if you don't like him, You liked him at one point, or you wouldn't have the child.
Right.
So you do like him. It's just we don't like him no more, and we make the child suffer for our dislike. And that's wrong. It ain't never gonna be right. And we'll never have a normal child until we reunite our men with their own fathers so that they will know we need to have a moratorium on us all hating and being mad at our fathers. Because it's hard now for a black man to pay all of the things, to have a job. He living in a society, as I say, where he is totally kept down as much as possible. So if it's like that in 2021, what do y'all think it was like that in the 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s? He didn't have nothing. He was pushed out based on money most of the time because we all need the money. Right. And so, we have let them use that. That still is not more important than trying to have that relationship with him. And yes, we should be trying to rebuild him. Many of them, they have just given up. You should hear the letters they write to me. And many of them will, they'll tell me, they'll say, thank you. You finally explained some things to me my own mother wouldn't tell me. Because when people say I'm giving up secrets, I'm not giving up secrets. I'm just leveling the playing field. Right. We know everything about them. They haven't known anything about us, and it has allowed us to manipulate and play them because they didn't know what they was dealing with. All I did is try to give him a hand to say, hey, this is what you're dealing with.
Yes. Thank you so much, Doctor. You said something in all that wisdom that you just imparted to the family and blessed us with. You said a lot of them have given up, and I want to talk to you about this movement. And I talked to you a little bit about it before when we had that interview last year with Sonetter. Shout out to Sonetter. Now, the brothers are giving up, and they're calling it a movement like men going on their own way, the red pill. Men are calling it the manosphere. They're saying, forget about it. We're done with the black woman. We're going to tell her to go her way. Have you heard about this movement?
I have heard it a lot. But you have to remember, they're dealing with decades of resistance and hostility and having their money taken and not being able to have a proper meal to even eat. Most of our men, and I'm around different grocery stores, some of those stores where they sell a plated dinner or a little carton of food they'll give them. And if any sister is looking for a man, she need to go to the grocery store around 5 or 6 o'clock. Because they all in line, they all lined up trying to get a plate of food for $10.
Wow, that's right.
And I tell the sisters, if you start cooking, he'll come by your house. He'll show up and he'll sit there a while. Okay? Just food.
I love her.
Food is what sustains life. We have always been the people who have to nurture the entire family with food. Our men are in bad health because they're eating wrong. They're eating all of that salt. They're eating pork. They're eating all of that grease. They're doing everything because they're buying food from the enemy. See? When we could fix a brother something to eat, as it stands now, a man can't even ask a woman, can she cook? That's a turnoff, and she'll get rid of him if he say, hey, baby, can you cook? That's the end of that.
Wow.
Because that's how our women have been programmed to believe. And I tell them all the time, you got good credit, you got credit cards, you got that BMW. Let me see you crawl up in the bed with it at night.
Oh, yes. Thank you. No, Doctor, I love you. I'm telling you, oh my God. You are blessed. The Almighty, the Most High, Allah, has blessed you to be so, you touch the vein, you touch the nerve of everything that has been laid upon the black man and ultimately the black woman, because when we listen to you, it's not you putting the man up is helping us as women. You are saving us. So with me saying all that, when you talked about food, you took it all the way back home. You took it back to our values from our mothers and the mothers before us. Now you started out talking about food.
There are women in our community, in other communities, I want to say, and they man may not be there. So they put a picture of the man on the mantle, and they teach their children to honor that picture. Okay? Because that's their father.
Yes.
And it represents a decision that I made to lay down with him and reproduce and make this child. Okay? We don't even show our children their daddy. And if we say anything about him, it's usually negative. And it's usually based on something that we have going with the man that we mad about. Because we always mad at him. And he do things to make us mad. But we gonna have to learn to back that up some. It's a lot of people that do things against us to make us mad. And we don't treat them as bad as we treat our baby daddy.
Oh, woo, thank you. Talking about that, Dr. Ali, Dr. Sharazad Ali. Now, for y'all that don't know, Dr. Ali, she's about nutrition and health. And she started out initially, what prompted her to start her book is the pushback, the black wives that told their husbands, I'm not going to cook, I'm going to keep cooking pork. I want you to talk about that, Dr. Ali. Talk about what happened with that.
Yes. You know, I'm really just your sister. I'm not a doctorate.
You're my doctor. You know, okay. You can't tell me. You can't tell me you're not my doctor. But I hear you.
But
go ahead.
I had written How Not to Eat Pork, and I had released it in 1985. That's probably before y'all was born. But I had released it in 1985. And I was going around traveling, and I was taking a microscope, showing them the worm in the pig, showing them pictures how you couldn't kill it with heat, which is what they had lied about and said, you know. And I noticed that the brothers sounded like they were more willing to change their diets than their women. And so I recognized, well, if we are withholding the proper food from our man, and food is what sustains life, okay? You got to eat to live.
Yes.
Then what else are we withholding that might also be stunting his growth and his health? And that's how I got up on the Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. Because I recognized that part of his problem is that he didn't know who he was dealing with.
Okay. He didn't know he didn't know that his wife was his enemy. He's living with the enemy.
He didn't know that we had been taught to be the enemy, but inside we could be a much better person, you know, and he could manage our hysteria if he knew what he was dealing with us from a child, with the things our mothers had told us through her disappointment, the things our grandmothers had told us from her disappointment. See, things like success and happiness, those are choice things. You know, I've seen women sit on the curb with a brother that's on crack. They both on crack, and they smiling and hugging and kissing. Okay.
Best love.
I love it. Yes.
So it depends on what's in your head. Okay. And we got the only man that don't want to get married. Our brothers, most of them, they don't want to get married because it's such a pain in the behind dealing with us about marriage. We want this real expensive ring. We want to give money to some other white people or some Greeks or Asians or somebody other than self. We want to be able to have all this fabulous furniture and home, not just for ourselves, but to show off in front of other people. And so we put a pressure on our man. And then if we break up with our man, then we put him under the child support system that destroys the rest of his life, destroys his credit. They can take his car, stop him from getting health insurance. All of these things happen under the child support program. And the way the devil has got it set up, if he makes $500 a week, they want $400 of it. See, they don't want to leave him anything to even survive on. And that's another issue I want to mention. We going around talking about we don't want to have no children. These young girls out here having babies, but I'm going to tell you, we need to support them having babies because we need the numbers. Our birth rate is down.
Talk.
The Asians, the Puerto Ricans, the Latinos, everybody having more babies than us. Now that's not just a testament. That's not just a testament to us not getting along with him. Because the only time we get along with him is when we laying down. When we stand up, then we're mad. Okay?
Right.
But the problem is that they got all of these abortion clinics that make it simple and easy to go in and come out in a few hours and you're done.
Yes.
So we're going to
Yes.
have to get a program where we help support some of these young women that have these babies. Because as I say, we need the numbers. And the farther down on the list in America in numbers we go, then the least important we are to the American government to give us any kind of support.
Oh,
Because we are not
wow.
important. And that is why white people don't do anything about racism in America. So don't sit around expecting that tell your children the truth and you and your man discuss the truth about it. Because every day he leave home, you don't know if he's coming back because it's a white man out there want to kill him.
Oh, yes. The police want to kill them. Let me
Okay?
talk to you.
And as a
Okay.
result of the ignorance that we have been taught, there's also a black man possibly out there that want to kill him.
Yes, trained
So
to
we
kill
have
his
a
own.
lot of issues. We have a lot of things that we got to deal with. They don't deal with racism in America regarding black men or black women or black children because it doesn't affect them. The white mother is not worried whether her son go out if the police gonna stop him and choke him to death.
Yes.
She's not worried if they're gonna throw her teenage son on the ground and handcuff him and shoot him in the back.
Mm.
She's not worried that her husband gonna go to get a job and not gonna get it because he white.
Mm.
See,
Preach.
so all of these things are working against us out here, but it don't affect them. They just move somewhere and separate themselves from what it looks like we're bringing on ourselves, but we're not. They bringing it on us, and they bring it on our man in the worst possible ways.
Wow.
And then finally, when he gets to us, all we want to know is who was you with last night? What did y'all do? I didn't check your phone and all of that nonsense.
Wow. 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 Woo. Y'all take a sip. We need to take a sip. Take a sip, Dr. Sister Sharazad Ali. I want to ask you, you are doing this is so wonderful. I just want to ask you if we could take it in the direction of when you talked about the abortion. A lot of men are saying today, I don't want to be with any woman with children. Talk to us about that new movement.
Well, that's because they are afraid and they have been taught separation of the family instead of separation from the enemy. And so their attitude is that they don't want to take care of it because they see it as another financial obligation. And they see it as having to maybe go through some changes with another father that's out there that maybe is being prevented from seeing his children because the woman got a new man or something.
Mm.
And so it gets to be difficult, but that's something that they have taught separation. In a lot of countries, when families have children, the children grow up and they just go live next door or at the other end of the house when they get married or whatever. But we are taught that when you grow up at 18, we kick our children out. They got to go. They got to go make their own way. We don't want to help them. They got to go. And that's even with people who have had foster children. They put them out at 18. See, because they don't want us to have one washing machine and one refrigerator. They want everybody in the family to have a washing machine and a refrigerator. It's all about money. It's economics to separate the family instead of keeping them together.
Right. The materialism is different from, would you say that things are worse than they've ever been as far as Black women and Black men, but especially, I got to say it, our sisters are always thinking about, I got to have this, the latest this, the latest that. I got to look to have all the money. Talk to us about the materialism and how sisters can work on that to try to not look for a man to have millions of dollars to qualify as
the problem. This is another problem we have. We don't have nothing to do. And women that don't have nothing to do, okay? Women that don't have nothing to do concentrate on their fingernails, their eyelashes, their breasts, their buttocks, they Louis Vuitton, they Chanel, they Prada, all of them other white people names on different things, okay? Our women don't have nothing to do. Now, there are some churches who are starting back to having knitting groups. They're having crocheting groups and they're teaching women how to do different skills, and a lot of what I taught, people say, oh, sister, that's old school. No, that's the school where things were working.
Facts.
That's the school where we could get along with our man and he would come home to us.
Wow. Okay? Yes.
And so it's not, there are universal principles that govern everything. And the things that I talk about in relationship are just some basic standards that we must practice if we want a better man. He can't rise until we rise.
Yes.
Not in the women's lib thing, but in being able to be a woman to him. We don't give our man no peace. We nag him all the time. We ask him for things he can't afford. Do you realize that everything we want from him is connected to money, and everything he wants from us don't cost nothing? He want a smile. He want a, hey, baby, how you doing? It's going to be okay. Oh, no, we can work it out. He wants that. That don't cost nothing. Okay? Everything we want is, I want a number 10 hair weave. You know, I want to get my nails done. I need my new sneakers. I mean, you know, we press him for things that the enemy deliberately keeps him from getting.
Wow.
That's a lot of pressure on a man. So I can understand them saying, hey, we tired of fighting with y'all. We going on our own way. Y'all better all try to get you one before they gone, period. I'm telling you, because they are sick of the nonsense we practice.
Wow. I want to ask you, because I know there's just, this is fire. This is medicine. Yes. She is the doctor, Sharazad Ali. See, back in, I'm not as young as I look, okay? But the sisters in their 20s, the sisters in their 20s, this is medicine. This is medicine for them, because they need to hear this, because they don't have the mothers of the olden times to tell them, because they have babies raising babies. But I want to ask you to keep this flow going, this healing going, and then we're going to have some people call in and ask some questions.
Yeah,
but
we're not. We're living in a time where all the values have been perverted and turned around. We didn't keep a man back in the day by twerking. Okay, that was not enough. It's not enough now. And the fact that many of our younger sisters are out in the middle of the streets and in the clubs and everywhere else with their naked, not clothes on, with their naked behinds off, shaking their butt in front of men and women and children, old people, anybody. It's just absurd. This shows you we are the queen of the universe, the mother of civilization.
Yes.
And look what the examples. Every nation is judged by its worst examples. And that information, when we have our men out there acting ignorant and our women out there, it goes all around the world because of technology. And so other people in other countries think that's the Black woman.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. They do. And I'm talking about roles. I mean, when you say twerking and how women, our role in society, can you talk to the sisters about femininity in a relationship and how far it works and how much power it actually gives them? Femininity?
Well, I think actually all women know when to get soft. They know when to soften their voice. And they know when to do a lot of things when we want something. Okay? And, you know, it's like sex. Don't nobody have to teach you how to do it. So all women already know how to be feminine. Okay? But now there are some instructions that could be given about dressing more modestly. You know, there was a time when the way you could distinguish the whores from the civilized and dignified woman was her wardrobe. So the whores dressed one kind of way and the decent women dressed another way. But the enemy stopped making decent clothes. And so now all the women look like whores. You can't tell hardly the difference. And so we have to have women who feel more confident in themselves that they don't have to use their body just to entice a man. It don't matter what kind of body you got. If the man loves you, he gonna love your body. So that's not really the issue. And I keep telling the sisters, it ain't none of what we think it is. It ain't how your makeup look. It ain't how fine you think you are. It ain't how big your butt is. It is none of those things. It don't last. It may get his attention for a minute, but because it's a low desire, it will not withstand the test of time. And when I say time, I mean a month.
Oh, let me talk, Dr. Ali. I want to talk to you about that, because in these YouTube streets and in our communities, there are men that are saying they're high value, and they're actually telling women the opposite. They're saying it's about how you look, and they're saying if you don't look like anything, you won't have a valuable husband. So can you, for a minute, talk to the brothers about that?
Well, that's not, I don't think that's really, when I remember that some of them are confused too by the enemy, but
Right.
that's not what I think they mean by that. What they mean is that even though we don't like to do a lot of cooking, we like to do a lot of eating. And so he's saying he don't want us weighing 250 and 300 pounds trying to wear a thong. Okay. He's saying that he wants us to go to the gym. He wants us to exercise and keep ourselves up. He don't want to come home and your head sticking out, your hair all over your head, and you looking wild and savage and mad. That's what he means. He wants us to put some effort to look nice for him. Looking nice does not necessarily mean that you have to wear Prada and Louis Vuitton and all of that nonsense from the white people, because that's nothing that belonged to us anyway.
Right.
Yes.
See? You know.
Wow.
So, and he don't mean that you got to garb up and cover up from head to toe. He just means to dress modest and stop getting dressed to go out to try to attract another man to prove to him that somebody else wants you.
Oh, wow. And what,
Okay.
let me ask you about that. You are on fire. I am so blessed to have you here sharing
I
this.
gotta go. So y'all come on. Ask me now. I gotta go.
Do you wanna take some calls? Just a couple?
Why don't we do that?
Okay, please, family. As you see, I told you this is good. This was going to be an amazing stream. This was so awesome. I'm going to go back myself and watch it about 2 or 3 times because these are jewels. So, family, please call in. The doctor doesn't have the doctor. I don't care what anybody says. This is real spiritual, holistic healing. The doctor doesn't have a lot of time, so please call in. My beautiful mods, thank you so much. Would you drop the phone number in the chat? But I wanted to ask you about the insecurities, the jealousy that women have between each other. While we wait for a call to come in, talk to us about the jealousy between women, please.
Yeah, it's really bad. But that jealousy is just based on one thing. We think our man is going to have sex with somebody else. Now, let me say this. This is really, really important. All of us, we have 2 choices in life. Okay? Mm-hmm. You can be the woman or the other woman. Now, pick your choice and stay in your lane. Okay?
Okay, with that said, doctor, thank you. I have a caller. Caller, you're on the line. Will you please let us know who you are and where you're calling from? Hello? Okay, what would you like to ask or any comment that you want to make? The doctor can hear you.
Yes, I bought a lot of your books. I got to rebuy some of them because they got stolen from my head.
1 second, brother. Can you hear him, doctor?
I can hear him enough. Yeah, I can hear him enough.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
Yes, I bought a lot of your books. I got to rebuy the books because my ex a long time ago stole them. But it's been hard for me to try to find a wife that's gonna build with me, and mostly what I've been finding is I've been the side man most of the time, or one of the other men most of the time, and it's really been hard. I mean, I'm in the aviation field, and I make pretty good, but it's just really hard to find a good companion to even try to wife.
Well, okay, I hear you. Listen. Okay. Listen, this is the situation. Everywhere I go, the women say they can't find no man, and all the men say they can't find no women. And whenever I try to put y'all in the same room together, you just fight like hell. So there's something wrong with us constantly saying that about each other. That's what I know. And I've been around more than the rest of y'all, okay? So what you have to do, brother, if you're looking for a woman, is try to find you a woman that ain't doing all the talking. If you see sisters together, try to find one that might be not have as much mouth, so maybe her ears are open and she can hear what you're talking about. Because I guarantee you that everything they do is to attract a man. The more clothes a sister take off, the more desperate she is, the more insecure she is. Wow. The more clothes she take off, that ain't because she bold. That's because she's crying out, help me, be with me, show me some affection.
Wow, thank you so much, brother. Brother, thank you for calling. Thank you so much, Dr. Sharazad Ali. And brother, thank you for calling in. I'm going to take the next caller. Thank you. Yes. Yes, who, just a second. Peace and Black Power. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Napa, it's St. That Network. My name is Nine Mills. I'm in Inglewood, California, but I'm from Chicago, Illinois.
Yes. Peace to you, brother. What would you like to say to the doctor?
I just wanted to say to the doctor, I've been aware of your work for quite some time. I'm nearly 50. You are the bomb. God bless you. God bless your ancestors. God bless you, and I wish nothing but love on you. I am flattered to even be able to have you hear my voice, and I mean that. I'm honored.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, brother.
Thank you, brother. We'll,
thank you.
I'm going to let you go, but continue to tune in, and I appreciate your support, okay? All right. Peace and Black Power. All right. So you have a lot of people that you've touched, a lot of people, and all the praise that you get is not in vain, and it's not really flattery. You say so many lives.
Now, I'm not trying to flatter anybody. I'm just trying to tell the truth. We are losing our man because of the values that we have set on material things, and because of us having such a vicious mouth. We're so critical of everything. A man is not another woman. He's not going to think like us, and we're not going to think like him. Okay?
Yes,
so
thank you.
If he says things or talk about things that you don't understand, that's your lack of understanding. It don't mean he don't understand. He's not thinking like no woman. He's thinking like a man. And we like to have a man long as he don't act like a man. If he start acting like a man and giving directions and instructions and how he want it to be and how he want his children raised, then we have a problem. Women buy children clothes, and our little girls are walking around in every kind of little tight outfit. They look like little grown-ups. And it's enough perverts in America who look at those little girls and little boys and get a filthy idea. Okay?
Yes.
That ain't no father's choice, because if a father had the choice, they'd all wear blankets. Okay? Because men don't want their daughters out there like that.
Right.
And a lot of times women do that, and they'll tell the man, they'll get, with a man, and then he'll start talking to them about that she need to tone down how she was dressing. And our attitude is, this is how I look when you saw me. We got together and I was dressing like this. Or then her people will tell her, dress like you want to, do what you want to do. And I tell them, well, you can be right in that. That's your choice. But you'll not just be right, you'll be right by yourself.
Okay, thank you. And peace and Black Power family. You're on the line with Sister Sip Down, and we have Dr. Sharazad Ali here. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, how you doing? My name is Sharazad. I'm calling from Washington, D.C.
Okay, what would you like to say or ask?
Hey, how you doing? I wanted to ask a question for Miss Sharazad Ali.
She's listening to you, brother.
Okay, cool. The question was, what's your thoughts on polygyny and the fact that the subject is becoming more prevalent in the Black community?
Okay, brother, I'm going to let you go. That's a great question. Thank you for calling in and tuning in and listen to her answer.
Well,
okay, brother. Thank you.
Our men already practice polygamy. It's just serial polygamy and separation polygamy. But our men, as I said, there's no Black man on the earth. There's none in the history. There's none in the Bible. The Torah Article 1 that had one woman and loved her his whole life. I try to tell the sisters, let's deal with some reality. I'm not talking about fornication and adultery. I'm not talking about no man running around after a bunch of women just to have sex. I'm talking about that there are men that genuinely love 1, 2, or 3 women.
Yes.
Okay? And as long as they can take care of our emotional needs, which is all we are crying out for, then we'll accept that. We'll accept anything. If it'll let us be with a man and he'll take care and put his arm around us, we'll go for just about anything. And our men don't know that, because that's what we want. We are so afraid somebody gonna have better sex with him than we have. And that don't even matter. Whatever we bring to the party, that's what he accept and enjoy. It's not based on that. There's no men lining up women talking about who he had the best sex with. Sex don't save a relationship. That's why they have what they call them booty calls, where people go back to somebody that they ain't been with in years and months, okay? Sex may be an entertainment, but it is not anything that's going to hold a relationship together. Don't nobody break up over sex. You break up over those issues of not getting along.
Woo. Fire. Thank you for calling. You're on the line with Sister Sip Down and our special honored guest, Dr. Sharazad Ali. What's your name and where are you calling from, please?
Hello, my name is Linda, and I'm calling from the Big VA, Virginia.
Pleased to have you on the line, sis. What would you like to ask or what is your comment?
Well, peace to you beautiful sisters up there. I'm enjoying the conversation, and much love and respect and honor to our beautiful Queen Mother, Sharazad Ali. I've been watching her since she was on the Phil Donahue show years ago, and I'm still watching, my love. My question to her is, would she mind explaining, giving her thoughts and views on the interracial agenda being pushed in our communities? And I'll listen offline. Thank you, ladies. Have a lovely evening.
Oh, thank you, sis. Much love to you. Peace and black
Questions.
Okay. I'm going to answer that, but let me finish that other question, that previous question.
Of course.
One of the things that we deal with is some kind of psychotic disappointment if we find out or think that our man is entertaining some time with another woman, okay? Now, our mother, our grandmother, our great-grandmothers, our great-great-grandma, none of them have ever had a man by themselves.
Talk.
Okay?
Talk.
So this is not a new idea. That's my point, okay? And I don't know why anybody think that they would have something that ain't nobody else got. They think they got the one man that ain't never gonna be with another woman. You know, that's not real. And that's what I try to teach reality. That's not real. You ain't gonna have no man that don't never have another. I ain't never had a man that didn't have another woman. Neither have you.
Preach.
Okay?
Thank you.
Preach,
That's just the truth of it. That's the reality. And so what I try to teach is reality about our relationships and our men. He's not wired like that to just love one woman. It's one sun and it's 9 planets.
Talk.
Woo! You are on fire.
And I'm not saying, of course, that no man should be ridiculous to try to have 9 women because he can't afford to do that. He can't afford to do that emotionally because we are so crazy. Every day we got an issue. Okay? So he can't deal with a whole bunch of us or it'll kill him. You know, as I said, I killed my first husband. I know what happened. Right? Because we ran him nuts. We ran him just nuts. Okay? But I learned better. And so I've been trying to teach better and to get us past this jealousy thing. It's only so much you can do with that. With sex, I'm talking about, because that's the deal breaker.
Right.
Okay? That's when we go crazy. All right. And we need to pull back from that. It's just not that big of a deal. We spend less time doing that than everything else in life. Okay? And so we need to be able to accept that we all have a certain enticing beauty. I mean, I have seen men with women, and I would think, he is so handsome. How did she get him? But he wasn't looking at her outer beauty. He's looking at her inner beauty.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And so while we teaching our daughters to look good, we best be teaching them how to be good if they're going to have a man.
Oh, preach. Thank you so much. You know what? And because she brings him more peace usually than the beautiful one. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
you know, in fact, one time, of course, it's 100 years ago, but I asked my husband why he was dealing with somebody else about something. He said, well, she keep me from killing you.
Oh, peace and black power. Family, you are on the line with Sister Sit Down and the Honorable Dr. Sharazad
Look at
Ali.
it like that. And the other thing, don't no woman want to be bothered with no man 24/7. We got things to do. We got places to go. We got to deal with ourselves, the house, the children. So give somebody Thursday and Friday. It's okay. You deserve it.
Yes.
Be all right. But if no woman want to be bothered with no man every day and every night. And y'all know that's the truth. See, if we could just deal in truth, we could make some progress.
Thank
But
you.
because we want to hold on to fantasy and jealousy, thinking somebody gonna get something more than we getting or whatever. Okay, it ain't no woman want to have sex every night. It just don't exist. So let somebody else do that a couple of days, and you go take care of something else. You know, it's all right. You're not gonna die. You ain't been dying, and he been doing the same thing.
Okay. And you would want somebody to be honest with you. Wouldn't you want honesty, right, doctor?
Why? We're not honest. That's another thing. Let me get on that. We always want somebody to tell us the truth. We don't tell the truth. It's optional. We tell the truth when it's convenient, when we think it'll benefit us, when we think it'll make him admire us, or whatever. But we're not the truth tellers. So we always going around. Well, you know, the women used to tell me, they would be like I said, they would have fake breasts, fake eyelashes, fake hair, and then they would tell me, but I want a real man. You know, and I used to laugh about that. I laugh about that because we ain't no more real than they are. We just lie differently. Okay? They're not as shrewd as us, so they get busted. They get caught and they lie. You know, we'll lie for 10, 20 years. We can lie for 10, 15, 20 years and don't never tell the truth about something.
Wow, Dr. Sharazad Ali, we have somebody on the line, a brother who would like to speak to you. And brother, you are on the line. Doctor can hear you. What would you like to say? Peace. By the way, where are you calling from? What is your name? And what would you like to say to the doctor? Are you there? I think can you hear me, caller? Oh, well, I think he might have hung up. Wow, that was
I must have scared him off.
no, actually, he's probably at a loss for words. He never heard a sister just come right out and just say that if he hasn't read your book. Wow, thank you so much. That is so, look, y'all, as I said, I know I'm laughing and we're having so much fun, but these are jewels that you can use from not just for yourself, but not just for yourself. You can pass it on to your daughters and they pass it on to their daughters.
Right. That's right.
So, yes, thank you, doctor. Oh, they're calling back.
We tend to teach our daughters how not to have a man.
Wow.
We give them rules. We give our daughters rules that keep them from getting a man. Now, of course, you have sisters who be around and who say, well, I've been waiting on a man for 20 years and I ain't found one. Well, then it's something that's not working out right in that. Because men are attracted to certain things, not just a big behind. They are attracted to other values. Like that brother called in. He said, I don't even know no women that want to be a wife. My grandson is 20 years old. And he told me, Grandma, you don't know what's out there. He said, you can't find no girlfriend. He's 20 years old and he is handsome. He's fine as hell. He is intelligent. I raised him. This boy can talk, walk, he can keep house, he can write a check, he can do everything. Okay.
Wow.
He's not like a lot of these young men out here. This boy had a mother and a father, so we know he's good. But he say it's very hard to find a girl out here.
Wow. Peace and Black Power. You're on the line with Sister Sit Down and the guest, Dr. Sharazad Ali. What would you like to ask? What's your name? Where are you calling from? And what would you like to ask?
Hello? Yes, do you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, this is Tamara. I want to ask the doctor a question here. A lot of men, black, I understand what she's saying about the black man and the black woman and all this type of situation, but a lot of your black men, they want white women because they want to have a baby with good hair. They think a sister's hair is too nappy and they don't want their children to have nappy hair. What does she have to say about that? And
is that a white woman or a black woman?
Well, sis, she's talking to you, so you can engage. She said, are you white or black?
No, I am a black woman.
Okay. Now that's something that I've never heard. I have tended to hear black women talk more about the hair than men. Now, I haven't heard that, so I don't know what area of the country that I would hear that in.
Yeah, sister. They're out here. They're saying that, you know, and they're saying, "Hey, I don't want a black woman to have a baby with a black woman
tell you this.
her hair is nappy."
Let me tell you this. I don't care what kind of lie he make up about why he want a white woman. He just want a white woman. When they get that white fever, it ain't nothing gonna solve it but them getting with a white woman. Now, the fact that he think he can have a little light-skinned Creole looking baby, but you know what? I'm gonna tell you what I have noticed out here from end of the country to the other. These interracial, so-called biracial babies and children, they not looking like they used to look. They look like just little regular Negroes, and they have little kinky hair like all the rest of our children. So it's not like that anymore. I don't know if it's the food. It might be the food, the water, but they not looking biracial no more.
No, they have nappier hair than us sometimes.
Yeah, they just look like regular Negro children.
Well, thank you for calling in, sis. That was a good question. You enjoyed the show. Peace and Black Power.
Okay.
You're welcome. Yeah, it's like maybe there is some kind of evolution going on that they just coming right out looking, you know, the hair don't come out.
Well, like I said, that's all a lie. That's all a front. Because when a black man get white fever, it's hard to satisfy it. That's all I can say. That's why we have to have separation, because opposites attract, likes repel, and so they're gonna be trying to get with her, and they try to get with her because they think she's gonna treat them better than we do.
Right. And usually, what do you think about how they say, you know, how they say, well, she doesn't argue with me so much. What is it that she's doing that the black woman isn't doing besides the stuff you covered?
She's just being herself. She doesn't have the same ancestral slave history. She doesn't have the same racism and pressure and Jim Crow and everything that's been on her family. She haven't seen the hunger, seen the murder. She haven't lived that. She hasn't had to. As I said, the reason they don't deal with racism because it don't affect them like that. It ain't no thing. It's something we going through, they think. As if we going through it alone without they man doing stuff to us, you know.
Right.
But that's usually what that is. She just hasn't had the same experience, so she's more cooled out. She don't have the same complaints we have, you know, because she's not familiar with what our cultural history is.
Dr. Sharazad Ali, do you want to take one more call? Because we have one more.
One more, and then I got to go eat.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Peace and Black Power, are you there? Can you hear me? I think they hung up. Yes, you're going to have, what are you going to have if you don't mind me being nosy? I want to know.
Probably cottage cheese and pineapple.
Oh, that is my mom. That is my mother's favorite. And you know
that sounds kind of square, but that's probably what I'm gonna add.
No, you know what I want to say? You notice that she said something really light. You don't have to eat a heavy dinner. And that's probably why. That's why you look so young and you look so beautiful.
I have really enjoyed this. I rarely get a chance to just talk to women. And so this has been wonderful.
This is amazing.
It's for us.
Really let it go. Hey, I really let it go and let y'all have it. So
and I love that. You know what? I love how you let it go. I wish you could keep letting it go, but I gotta respect that you gotta eat. So we're gonna take this last caller, and they're gonna be able to address you and give you a comment. Peace and Black Power. Peace and Black Power. They hung up. Well, that's the last one, y'all. Okay. Wow. Yes.
So listen, I thank you for inviting me. This has been wonderful. You all are young women. You have your future ahead of you. You can make choices that will allow you to have peace. You don't have to worry about whether or not you're embarrassed in front of some other woman because your man got another woman. All of us go through the same thing. It ain't no difference. You ain't gonna get nothing that the rest of us don't get, you know. So it ain't nothing to be ashamed of. Everybody know about it, you know. So just live your life. Try to handle your business and don't let another person destroy the happiness that you have with a man for whatever time you have with him.
I like that.
Okay.
I absolutely, I'm so thankful. Assalamu alaikum. I love you. You are the doctor. I'll remove you.
Thank you so much.